Well, EA, you done f***ed it up again with my favorite franchise this time, which you've done before with Battlefield Hardline, but now it's the mainline Battlefield series. News stories are coming out all over the place right now. Analysts report Battlefield 5's pre-order sales are weak. They are weak. Battlefield 5's so far lower, below Black Ops 4, Red Dead Redemption 2. This outlet here. Pre-orders are reportedly very weak. Well, I think one angry gamer gets it wrong here. They never said very weak. You're throwing that word in there, and that's not correct. They said that it's just lower. So what is weak? Is weak 100 million less? Is it 500? How much dollars is it less? 100 million dollars less? 50 million dollars less? We don't really know, but we do know that the pre-order sales are lower in comparison to Call of Duty and to Red Dead Redemption's 2. Now, why? Why is this happening? Well, if you listen to YouTube and certain channels on YouTube, I watched 4 videos in a row just now because, I care about the Battlefield 5 franchise. And it sucks to watch this video because they're celebrating. They are celebrating the destruction and the lower sales of the Battlefield 5 franchise due to those goddamn liberals and those social warriors putting women in Battlefield. The reason why to them that Battlefield 5 is having lower pre-orders is because there are women on the box, there are women featured prominently in the trailers, and there are women in multiplayer. And they're not going to spend a goddamn dime of their $60 on women being in World War II because that insults their great-grandfather who fought in World War II. No women in World War II, in my fictional World War II. Ha 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 to EA. Victory for Not My Battlefield, hashtag MAGA, Red Hats. Victory for against social justice warriors. But is it really that? Is those segment of people who don't want women in there, who want a extremely historically accurate World War II experience in Battlefield 5, is that really what translates into the most lost revenue? I don't know. Maybe. Let's look at it. So they say that the evidence is this: EA basically shit on the community, which they do all the time, and they deserve sometimes to get some backlash. They said, here's the backlash on women: accept it or don't buy the game. So they are laughing their asses off at these guys who said, if you don't like women in Battlefield 5, don't buy it. And now they are cheering the fact that there are lower pre-orders and that pre-orders are weak. And then they also draw a parallel to Chief Design Officer Patrick Sutherland leaving the company. They're saying, well, the pre-orders have been weak, so that must be why this guy got let go. They didn't want him there anymore. In fact, he was the Chief Design Officer over 12 years. So here we can both agree on something. We can make this crossover that I'm glad this guy is gone, okay? Because he was terrible. This is the guy that saw how much money was being made in Madden Ultimate Team and FIFA Ultimate Team, just over $600 million, $800 million annually, yearly. And then he said, let's go to our other games. Let's go to Battlefield. Let's go to Star Wars Battlefront. Let's do Need for Speed, all of our games, and inject microtransactions into that shit too. No! And it blew up in his face when the Star Wars community said, fuck off. And the Star Wars community rallied and got Disney involved and really upset things. Now, this could be, him leaving could be blowback from that. And trust me, I've seen people on those 4 videos I watched like, oh, this guy's going broke. He's got to explain to his wife selling his house and car. That's actually not true. This guy made millions of dollars while he was there. And it may be that he's not leaving the company because of what you think he is leaving the company. If you do a little bit more research here, you'll see that the publisher really wanted him to stay. They gave him a $20 million bonus to this guy. Why? Well, back in June. That is so recent. They said they paid him a $20 million bonus partly for the purpose of supporting a longer-term retention of this guy. And he said, no, peace out. This is I'm taking the money and I'm leaving. Is he going to go make more money somewhere else? That's a possibility. Nobody knows what's next for him or why exactly he left. But Conservatives on YouTube will tell you that the reason why he left is because there is lower pre-orders because of the women in Battlefield 5, and because they said accept it or don't buy it, and people actually went out and didn't buy it. But is that the real reason? I mean, objectively, or is it closer to this? You're putting Battlefield 5 in between one of the biggest Call of Duties and the biggest video game release this year. From a little known developer, a little known game, from a small indie publisher called, Rockstar. I don't think many people buy their games. It's not like it's Grand Theft Auto 6, essentially. No, it couldn't be that. It couldn't be that, October is notoriously such a filled month that I call it Broketober, and I can't freaking possibly review every single freaking game in October, and then it's sandwiched in between two of the biggest releases, not to mention all the other games that come out around the same time. No, it couldn't be that. It couldn't be that this Battlefield 5 is the most poorly marketed Battlefield I've ever seen in my history of following the Battlefield franchise. And you guys know how much I love Battlefield. It was awful. I mean, yeah, there was a 3-hour closed door, behind the door session for influencers, press, what do they call it, game changers, outlets. It was fucking amazing. 3 hours of detailed information. They showed GIFs and animation breakdowns, and I was like, please just release this to everybody. Instead, no, they did the shitty Trevor Noah presentation, which was fucking awful. It really didn't give you the details. It really didn't show off the game. It was more concerned about mimicking the Daily Show with Trevor Noah on there in like a news report program with awful transitions. In comparison, Call of Duty had a great show on stage, even though they're ripping out features. And you would think, so you've got your EA is essentially pulling another Titanfall 2. Only this time they're fucking up one of their mainline franchises, Battlefield 5. They're jamming it in the middle of the biggest Call of Duty, right? And one of the biggest releases of the year. And this is why, in my opinion, pre-order sales are lower. Okay? The people that play Call of Duty, they've really done... Activision has really done their research. I thought that this year maybe some Call of Duty people would come over to Battlefield 5 because they realized they're getting less for more. But no, all they had to do was double the amount of zombie modes and add Battle Royale, even though they probably fucked up development really hard and they're scrambling. They had to pull out single player. And this was the year that I thought Battlefield 5 would probably crush Call of Duty. But it's not happening. They know their audience. Call of Duty people don't come over to Battlefield 5. And with all these games coming out, these 3 plus those other major releases, plus I'm not even counting indie releases, people can't buy that many games per month. You're thinking the average, student, whether they're in high school or college, has maybe $60. Maybe 2 games in a month, maybe if you're working really hard and you're doing other things. So what's that going to be? $60? That's going to be Red Dead Redemption. At least if I only bought one game, it's going to be Red Dead Redemption 2. All right. So, and I'm thinking that combined. So you've got those reasons. Is it because of, the social justice warrior agenda? They're trying to put women in our games and they're trying to make us feel for females and have better representation in games? How dare they? This should be historically accurate, no women. Is that really the reason? No, I'm thinking, that maybe people will. There are people out there that's like, I'm not going to give you $60 of my money until you take those women out. Until you do it more historically accurate in your fictional stories. In the trailers, there's been women, and one of the war stories is going to feature a fictional story of a female resistance fighter. I will not pay you $60 till all that's out. In Battlefield 6, I better see no women. Then I'll give you my money. Do I think there are people like that? Yes, unfortunately, I do. But I don't give a shit. We've had World War II before, so when they come back to World War II, I was hoping for an alternate take, and they did one. But I think the reason is this one looks more like Call of Duty. This Battlefield looks more like Call of Duty than ever before, with these loud, crazy-ass trailers that make it look like Call of Duty set pieces, and the sort of cybernetic arms or robotic arms or whatever. They're doing this crazy customization thing. If you're going to do alternate World War history like that, you could have gone real alternate World War II. And that would have been crazy, like a Nazi invasion of the United States, some, maybe other countries getting involved, or the fight being a lot bigger in Africa or Australia. Who knows, or in the Pacific. It could have been crazy, but no, you're going this direction. So do I think there's lost sales over the whole politicized thing, right versus left, and right, being happy that the Swedish developers over there at DICE are eating their words? Yeah, I think a small bit of it, but I think it has to do more of the poorly timed release date. There are other just big boys fighting there for attention. I think that the really lack of marketing, good marketing for Battlefield 5 has really hurt it. And I think the general ill will towards EA, people are so sick of EA shit right now, especially coming off of Star Wars Battlefront 2. This is their major shooter coming off of that controversy. I think that has more to do with people, they're people are trying to lead you astray and drama whore and say this is why you should feel good. It's more, fuck EA, and those people are like, fuck EA. It's not fuck EA because women and because social justice warriors. Fuck EA because they tried to fuck me over. That's what I think it is. But maybe I'm wrong. So yeah, a few of you may celebrate this bad news for Battlefield, but I'm certainly not celebrating. I don't like pre-ordering anyway, unless it's like, I'm damn sure it's going to be the damn good game. And I was really close with Battlefield 5. But, and here's another reason. I don't think that Battlefield 5 has had an open beta yet. I could be wrong. I know I've played it because I got a key from my business management group. I think those latest ones have been closed alphas. And I think a lot of pre-orders come in when people actually get their hands on it and they play the new modes and they play the new feel of it. And, okay, well, yeah, let me put down a pre-order. So I hate to see this happen because I thought this year the Battlefield 5 franchise would do really well. I don't think it has to do with the fact that this non-controversy of women being included. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. You guys give me your opinion. Do you think it is 100% because there's women in it, or do you think it has to do with more of those other things that we talked about? Let me know, guys, okay? Thank you so much for watching. And if you're celebrating the lower sales on Battlefield, I mean, I can't stop you. It is EA, so it's like you want to celebrate that, but you don't. But me, as a Battlefield fan, it's like, oh, damn it, you guys fucked this up. And so, again, I'm mad at EA again. I just wish whoever replaces Patrick Sutherland guy, I hope he's more, a guy for us, a gamer. Not going to happen. As I said that, not going to happen. But maybe there's a tiny hope that they'll learn from all this. I don't know. We'll see. Leave me your comment, and thank you so much. We'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.